Hey y'all, welcome back to RoyalTEA, and that's TEA for Teaching Economic Advocacy. I'm Queen Candace, your favorite money management specialist, and on tonight's episode, we'll be taking a break from speaking to community leaders in order to break down what economic advocacy is, why it's needed, and then shed light on topics I've been asked very frequently about lately, which is that new Sou Sou thing, gift and circle, give and flower, whatever you want to call that thing, that scam. And then to add insult to injury, Dana Chanel has recently been brought back into the spotlight for scamming Black entrepreneurs. I don't know why of all months this has to be spoken about during Black Entrepreneurship Month, but hey, you guys asked, so I will happily answer. So let's hop on into what economic advocacy is. So economic advocacy supports in repairing the effects of financial abuse, right? So that's through credit repair, that's through budgeting, and of course, education, which is, hey, what I do, right? So here on RoyalTEA, that will always be the underlying theme, no matter whether we're talking to community leaders, whether we're talking to politicians, whether we're talking to artists and things of that nature. That is the underlying theme. What are you doing to actually educate us on finances or help us through community programs and initiatives, right? So this is like really investigating how the Black community has and is being taken advantage of financially as a whole. So all of the guests, the newsworthy stories, and like I said, those teachable moments are all in an effort to reverse the effects of financial abuse. That being said, this Sou Sou business has me absolutely sick to my stomach. Something so pure and deeply rooted in our history has been turned into something so very dark. And I'll go so far as to say has been weaponized against us in order to actually disrupt our efforts to excel economically. So yesterday, along with my fellow co-host of Make Lemonade, hey ladies, we discussed what this new Sou Sou scam is. So I'm gonna let Chantel explain what a Sou Sou is by playing the clip from yesterday.
If you a black person that haven't seen this Sou Sou conversation going around, I don't know where you've been, because it's actually been all over social media. Either I've seen somebody invite somebody to one, or somebody getting into one, or somebody telling people not to get in one. So there's two types of Sou Sous, people. Let's talk about the conspiracy. There's one type of Sou Sou as far as this sort of pyramid scheme Sou Sou that's been rolling its way around, would like you to believe. This Sou Sou says that there's administrators. They're going to collect some fees from people, and then they're going to give them out, and we're going to get more money than you started with, right? That's a beautiful idea. That's such a nice investment thing to do, right? This is that what's been happening is people have been putting their money in these Sou Sous and never seeing the money again. So they do the first round, maybe they do the second round even, and then the person who's the administrator disappears. Wow. And so I want to warn people, if you're an administrator of a Sou Sou and you decide to disappear, that the FBI actually can come after you. So if this is something that you're thinking about doing, this is a federal crime. So just so you know. So there's a pyramid scheme going around that is, yes, basically a little bit scammy, that involves a lot of money and a lot of people and calling itself a Sou Sou. So let's talk about what a Sou Sou really is. A Sou Sou is an African and Caribbean concept of a small group of people, right? It's informal, and it's a accredited investment group, which means that basically every couple of, rotations, people are putting in money, and then once you get your hand, they go a hand, right? Which basically means you get a large sum all at once, because you've been paying into this thing, right? So I'm putting in $50 a month so that 4 times a year I can get $6,000, right? In a lump sum, which most of us have a hard time doing, right? So in a community, that makes a lot of sense. These Sou Sous that are going around are something else, but they're claiming to be the same thing. And so they're using words like blessings, right, and families, and, grading down on your money blessings. And so let's talk about Black people, because I know you guys have seen these.
All right, y'all. So y'all see what I'm talking about, right? So that is the topic of the day. So as you can see, Sou Sous were created for Black people by Black people, right? And now this new thing that's going around is preying on that intimate connection we have with that phrase. Some have even gone so far as to say this is the way to build generational wealth. And so I had to come on tonight to fully denounce this new version, right? So let's break this down nice and easy. This newest scam is what I like to call a hybrid between an actual Sou Sou and what's called an MLM. So you guys will probably hear me say like MLM a lot of the time because I like to shorten things. That's just the millennial way. So Chantel already gave us the definition of a Sou Sou, right? So an MLM is a multi-level marketing company. Basically, they sell a product or service that the reps can get a commission for every person they bring in to do the same. So I want to be very clear here. MLMs are actually legitimate businesses, okay? They're just a little sketchy, right? With their tactics that they use to actually get their reps in. And they also tend to care more about acquiring more reps than the actual product or service they're selling, which is pretty annoying. But they're actually legitimate. So examples of an MLM are Mary Kay, Herbalife, and I don't know if you guys saw like that wrap thing that used to go around where you put it on your waist and it shrinks your stomach naturally, which hashtag I've actually used that and it does work. So Mary Kay, Herbalife, and it works. Totally legit companies, right? So the issue with this new Sou Sou is that it's what they keep saying is an open circle. And you have to bring people in. So let's evaluate the red flags of this scam, right? Because we already heard Chantel give the explanation of what they are. Yes, Monica, Primerica. Primerica is an MLM. So if you are a person who has life insurance through Primerica, I can't say what I really want to say about this company. So if you want to hear my honest to God thoughts about Primerica, hit me up in my DMs and I'll let you know about Primerica. All right. But let's get on up into these red flags. Okay. So red flag number 1, that it's not actually amongst people you trust, right? So as Chantel was explaining, this is something that you do with a small group of people. This is something that you do within your community, right? Like as a tribe, hey, we're going to come together, help each other save, get this bag, right? So the problem here is that you don't know these people, man. Like you don't know these people running it, and how can you hold someone accountable for $500, $1,000 that you guys are like actually entering into this Sou Sou? How can you hold them accountable for that money if you don't know who it is, right? It's just this random video going around. Like what is this? What is this? And of all the things that should have made your spidey senses tingle, it should have been that. I mean, really. Like somebody just gonna send me a random video and, oh, okay, yeah, here's all my savings. We're gonna have to talk about your money mindset a little bit because I don't like that. We're gonna have to talk about that, Black people. That is not okay. All right, so that's the first red flag. Red flag number 2 is if you have to bring people in to qualify for your pay cut. Like Chantel said, this is a small group of trusted people, so you shouldn't have to say, oh, hey, let me bring in more people and then I get my money. No, the whole point is for us all to win together, right? So the second red flag is that it even has qualifications to begin with. The fact that you have to bring someone in to get the payout should automatically make your spidey senses tingle. Like, hold up. If I'm bringing 2 people in and then they have to bring 2 people in and then they have to bring 2 people in, no one's seeing this pyramid. Y'all not connecting them visual dots. No. Come on, Black people. I know y'all like to see things, for the bigger picture that they are. So I need you to start, like, if you are one of those people who is visual learner like me, go on and write that down on an actual paper, right? Draw that out. So, okay, I'm here and I have to bring in 2 people and then that person has to bring in 2 people. What's that? That's a pyramid, right? All right, I'm just making sure it's making sense for y'all. So there is, and what also makes it a pyramid, right? Because even though MLMs do kind of sort of look like that structure, what saves them is that they actually have a product or service that they're actually providing, right? And that they're insured, for one, right? So if someone goes missing, I'm getting my money back, right? So there's no exchange of a product or service. It's just literally shifting money under the next person. So, that's literally the definition of a pyramid scheme. And it honestly pains me to see so many people get tricked by trigger words like Sou Sou, because as you know, that's our word. We created that. That's us, right? So you automatically are like, oh, okay, it's a Sou Sou. I know what a Sou Sou is. Sou Sou is a closed circle, boo. It got to be closed. It can't be open. You're just letting any and everybody in. That's not how that works. Another trigger word is generational wealth. So that's what someone actually used for me, an entrepreneur. They were like, this is how entrepreneurs have now come together in order to create generational wealth. And I was like, this don't sit right with me. I don't like this. I don't like it. So I had to go and do some more investigating, right? Even though I already knew off the bat, because I am a financial person, I was like, nah, this is a scam off the bat. But, you give some people the benefit of the doubt because it tends to come from trusted sources. So you are led more so to believe it, right? So this is not how you build generational wealth. Because like I said, who's to say once the people at the top have gotten all that they need, they won't leave, right? And trust me, I've heard quite a few stories about this gifting circle where they just disappear and they didn't put a rack in there and they ain't getting it back. Okay, it's just gone. It's out of here, right? So let me check on these comments. Too smiley for me. Got me repeating my damn first. Help me first. You right. Help me first. Like, what you mean? Yes. All right. So red flag number 3, the name keeps changing. Come on, y'all. I know y'all done seen this is some throwback scam, right? That's a throwback scam tactic, to keep changing the name so that you don't really realize what it is at its root, right? So scams are shifty because they're ran by shady people. So if they can't keep the name the same, because I've heard 3 so far. I've heard the new Sou Sou. I've heard gifting circle. I've heard giving flower. And how on earth are you trusting it if it's a legitimate business, or if it's a legitimate money source, right? Like a Sou Sou, right? That name stuck for a reason because it was legitimate. So legitimate businesses and systems don't need to change their name in order to keep functioning and keep their credibility, right? If I'm credible, I'm credible. I don't need to say, oh, for instance, me, I'm Queen Blueprint, right? I don't have to go and make up some other name like, oh, Fearless Hustler, which, by the way, shout out to Shining Kids Salon. You guys are dope. Thank you for my shirt. I don't have to go and take another name just in order to keep in business. Right? So the mere fact that this name keeps changing, automatic red flag on the play. Like, where are you coming from? What are you? You a gifting circle or a giving flower? Listen here, right? Oh, I can see Monica. They wilding out here. Mad flags, mad red flags. Y'all just bypassing because, and I get it, right? It's because we're in a pandemic. It's a financial crisis. It's crazy. You don't know where your next funds are coming from. I totally understand that. I have been in that position multiple times before. Hashtag how I got into my 50K debt, right? So in those moments when you are desperate, you are not to make big financial decisions. Okay, that's financial therapy 101. You do not make decisions based off emotions. You make financial decisions based off of facts. What am I getting out of this? Can I actually invest in this? Is this real? Right? You do not make big financial decisions like this just because you feel like there's no other way out. There's always another way. You just can't see what it is. And if that's the case, come talk to me. Come talk to me. I will help you out. Don't do that. And I'll do it for cheap. A little $20. I'll tell you all you need to know. Come on now. Don't do that. All right. So, speaking of shifty, shady people who need to change the name of their business in order to remain credible, Miss Dana Chanel, you truly sicken me. Like this lady. Okay, so for those of you who don't know who Dana is, right? She's supposed to be a Christian entrepreneur who has multiple businesses, like a tax company, credit repair company, financial advice app, an entrepreneur app builder. I'm not gonna call all of them out because I don't know if she's gonna try and come to me or nothing. So we're gonna keep it at just her name, all right? Google her. So unfortunately, there is an entire 14, yesterday when we were on Make Lemonade, it was only at 11K. It has officially reached 14K on this Instagram of followers with multiple receipts on how she continuously is scamming Black people and Black entrepreneurs out of their money. Now, I won't get into specifics because like I said, we talked about this on Make Lemonade. So you can go watch the latest episode of Make Lemonade to get the details on her. But what I would like to do is educate you on how to not get scammed by, fake businesses, fake financial specialists, all that good stuff. So first and foremost, please do your research. Stop being lazy, y'all, and stop taking people at just what they say. Oh yeah, I've been doing this for such and such a years and blah, blah, blah. And I've been in business for about 2 minutes and they don't have nothing set up. No emotional, yes, yeah. No emotional spending, eating, or sexing. I definitely agree. All right. So, number 1, right? So, so just because they're a Black entrepreneur or claim to be one does not mean they're legit or actually care about you just because we share the same skin. All skin folk ain't your kin folk. Ain't that how the saying goes? So let's keep it going. You can trust other Black people. I am not saying don't trust Black people or businesses. Don't get that messed up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying do your due diligence to make sure that they are actually legit. Right? Because there's a lot of people out here saying I'm an entrepreneur and really it's just a hobby and they just want to take money from you, right? So make sure that they are, and no matter how well they package it either, because obviously Ms. Dana Chanel packaged it very well, right? Very well, even though sis don't know nothing, right? So here's 3 things you should check first. Number 1, what is their payment method? Right? This is a big one. This is the big one. Because you should be able to make any claims in case they are false, right? So I will say some legit entrepreneurs do use Cash App. But honestly, and I'm looking at y'all Black entrepreneurs, I need y'all to stop. Okay? Because Cash App is not secure. And consumers should honestly not trust it unless you're actually getting the product or service right then and there. So in front of you, like when we were at, when the world was open and we were going to vending events and stuff like that, like the products and the services sometimes were actually in front of you. So you could actually see it, you could touch it, you could feel it, you could take it home with you. Okay, those instances are fine. But over the internet, if you are actually sitting there and like, I would never send someone Cash App for no product service. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. That is like, boop, like big red flag for me. I cannot. Nope. I'm too scared of not getting my product or service. And then I got to go run around trying to find you because I will find you. Okay. So let me check these comments. All right. So number 2, do they have a website? Okay. Yeah. Yes. I'm looking at you, entrepreneur, who think it's okay to just have an Instagram. I'm looking at you. Again, there are some legit businesses that do business over Instagram. But once again, I need y'all to stop. I need y'all to stop. First of all, Wix has free websites. If you need the link, I'm going to drop it in the comments below after I'm done with this live. But listen here, okay? You do not have to actually pay for a website up front. You may have to pay for the service to actually use the funds, so actually do the transactions. But there's multiple ways to get around that too. So again, you want some of these tips on how to get around not having to pay for your website, but still making those transactions, hit me up. I can help you with that, because in fact, the first year I was in business, I had my website. My website was free, and I was processing payments through my website without actually using the payment processor on the website, so I didn't have to pay for it. So there are ways to do it, and do it legitimately. This wasn't no Cash App thing, okay? Do it legitimately through actual processors where consumers can put claims in if you are, you know, playing around with a product or service, right? So as a consumer, you should be wary, because not everyone is trustworthy. Like I said, all skin folk ain't your kin folk. And even if they do have a website, is it professionally put together, right? Or does it just look like it's just thrown together? Like they just was like, oh man, let me hurry up and get a website because I just want people to pay stuff to me, right? True entrepreneurs take pride in their business and their brand. They will never come to market looking sloppy and crazy, at least not their website, okay? Maybe their processes in their back office may be a little, you know, a little questionable, all right? Because they're just starting out and trying to get their footing or whatever. But up front and actually facing the market, they want to look like, you know, they have everything under control, they're well put together, and things of that nature. So true entrepreneurs take pride in their business and their brand. If it is a sloppy website, get on up out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. That don't even tell them you'll be back. Like, hey, hit them up and be like, hey, I was on your website and I saw this, that, and the third, and I don't know, sis, I'm going to give you a couple of recommendations so that other consumers don't get driven away like me. Put them on game. Talk to them. Let them know. Maybe they don't even realize that their website is sloppy, right? Some of us, we all out here learning how to grow economically, right? So let's grow together. But also, let's be trustworthy and make sure we ain't throwing our money at random people, okay? Because not everybody is your friend. I'm the Google Sites. So yes, Google Sites is free, and it's only $12 to pay for your domain for a whole entire year. So you can do that too. You don't necessarily have to do Wix. I just prefer Wix because you can do a lot of fancy stuff with it. But Google Sites is absolutely free, so you can use that as well. And I actually just purchased my second domain, so no one can come and take queenblueprint.com, because I have the Queen Blueprint. You know, because there's people out here trying to create phishing sites to get you too. So if you are a legitimate business, protect yourself by purchasing all the variations of your website as well. That's free game. All right. Number 3, what are their reviews like? Okay. So just as much as we do this when we're traveling, right? We go through all of the reviews. Like, is this a good hotel? Is this a good, you know, place to actually venture out? Like, what is this activity like and all of that good stuff? You check the reviews a lot, right? You want to make sure that you're going to have a great experience. This is what you should be doing with these businesses as well. Check their reviews, right? And like I said, even though, you know, there are some legitimate businesses who use Cash App, who use Instagram, there is always going to be reviews somewhere on the internet. Okay? Somewhere in there, they may have stumbled, they may have fallen and done something real shady to the wrong person, and they spoke out. So you want to make sure that you look at their reviews. And nowadays, there are so many websites and ways to get reviews on a business. So Google actually legitimizes businesses. So that's a free service, right? Again, entrepreneurs, I'm looking at y'all. Free service on Google to get your business on Google. You just have to have your physical address, right? So you can get on Google and actually put, you know, where your business is, the website, put photos, things of that nature, so that people understand that you are legit. Right? So regardless of whether you have that website or not, at least that gives you a little bit of legitimacy. For consumers, that's also one of the main sources you should go to for reviews, right? Because Google actually verifies users. So you can't it's not like the entrepreneur can go in and like create the fake reviews unless they really sit there and create Google accounts and everything. And that's just dragging it. At that point, just hang it up. But that's a very great source to look at reviews on these businesses to make sure that they are legit. All right. And then the other way you can do it, which is how I got all of the skinny on Miss Dana Chanel, is you can go through hashtags and Instagram pages that actually call out scammers. There's tons of them on Instagram. Like I said, the one for Dana Chanel has 14K followers already. And all they're doing on their posts is dropping screenshots of people submitting the issues that they're having with her because they're trying to fraud her. And she's trying to, intimidate them into saying that, oh, you can't fraud me because of some nonsense or something. So make sure that, you're going into those hashtags, you're looking at these Instagram pages and making sure that they don't have that scammer alert page on them, right? I'm gonna just say, thank goodness, Queen Blueprint doesn't have any scammer pages because I'm not a scammer. I don't have to do those things. Also, even if they don't have hashtags or Instagram pages because they may be new, you may be the one or second person to get scammed by them, right? So what you want to do is try and actually read through the comments. Look at, I know this is a lot asking of millennials because we don't really like to read, but scroll up and do your due diligence and see if anyone has ever written under a comment like, yo, I didn't receive this, that, and the third, or you know what I'm saying? Make sure you are doing your due diligence because they out here scamming folks. That's hilarious. She might change her name. Actually, in one of the legal documents that I did see on that scammer page, she did change her name. So her actual name is not Dana Chanel. It's something else. It's some A name or some or it's something, but it's not Dana Chanel. That's not her actual name. That's her stage name, entrepreneur name that she assumed underneath it. So she already out here wilding out the gate, right? As for me, in case y'all like, well, you call yourself Queen Candace. I was actually cyber stalked in my first year of being an entrepreneur. And I felt very uncomfortable because when you become a homeowner, your information becomes public. So anyone could Google me and find out where I live and, do some crazy stuff. So I was like, nah, I'm just going to remove my name off of, cyberspace. But my actual name is Candace, right? That's not an assumed name. So that whole name is not real. Dana Chanel, the whole thing is not real. I don't even know who this lady really is, y'all. Listen, go on and tell it. She out here wilding. So as for Dana Chanel, unfortunately, because of the clout from being on TV and such, she was able to trick a lot of people. So also what you want to do, check back stories, okay? Check them out. Because how is she teaching you guys about financial literacy or entrepreneurship when she hasn't done any of the work for herself? What are you teaching? You have to be stealing from someone else's information because you don't actually know yourself. You don't have firsthand experience in any of these things. So how can you coach and teach people, right? So do your due diligence or do your backstory on these people, especially if you're handing out racks of money, right? She stole $5,000 per person, $8,000. She was out here getting money. You feel me? So and because of one of her entrepreneur apps, she was stealing people's ideas. So protect your ideas too. Don't just be out here giving your ideas away to any and everybody. If someone is coaching you on your business, they don't necessarily have to know all the ins and outs of what you do and what you're about. They just have to give you a couple of pointers here and there, not giving them the whole thing. So, like I said, just do your due diligence. And if you want to give someone the benefit of the doubt, make sure that that purchase itself is insured or at least under $100, right? So you don't have to kill yourself about people stealing your money, right? So, Royals, I would love to bring guests on the show or talk about financial topics in your community that you care about. So email me at qbtv@thequeenblueprint or shoot me a DM at the Queen Blueprint. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Queen Candace, your favorite money manager specialist. And until next time, don't get caught slipping and stay royally resilient, y'all.
Whether it's tax season, the holidays, or whatever falls in between, you want to make sure that you're being smart with your money. So go visit my girl, Queen Candace, at the Queen Blueprint to learn how to gain your financial freedom. You could get a personalized debt payoff plan, a full financial overview, and learn to repair your relationship with money. Smarter money moves are waiting for you at www.thequeenblueprint.com or call 877-387-BLUE.